Hello. I just literally got done Daredevil Born Again, Season 2. Uh, it was interesting how the season ended. I enjoyed it, but I'm gonna say that like last week's episode, the anti-woke group are gonna hate this episode because it kind of points fingers. Yeah, but if you know comics, you know this actually happens, and something like this happens in the comics. So, and this happened years and years ago. So, we're probably looking at 20 years ago. But yeah, it was enjoyable. Mostly courtroom drama. So you got that, but you got the courtroom drama, which basically goes back and forth between Matt Murdock and Kingpin. That's basically where they'll fight happen the most of the time in the courtroom. And I can see that being kind of boring for most people. I found it interesting. Matt Murdock outs himself as Daredevil, which was like, yeah, let's go. Of course, you get more Jessica Jones. She shows up in the courtroom and stuff. And basically, after the court trial gets done, that's where the action happens, about 30 minutes after the episode, halfway through the episode. Then the action actually happens. Well, Bullseye is outside doing Bullseye things and gets Buck injured. And technically, the cops will don't do something. The Fisk's army was going to do something. They had the guy dressed up like Bullseye, and it looked like dollar store Bullseye. I'm going to say, like, it's like his costume looked fake. And it was like, I'm like, that's not Bullseye. What's going on? And then Bullseye shows up and like, that's Bullseye. And then Bullseye just beats the guy. He's like, yeah. But Bullseye then takes that guy's place and injures Buck. And then basically, which, nice seeing Bullseye again. Karen Page got freed from her court case, but like it just all the charges were dropped. So I was like, yay, Karen's free. Kind of because Jessica Jones and the senator lady showed up. And then basically it's just like the city turns on Kingpin, and it's his cops versus the citizens. And well, again, if you're looking at it like an actual human, which most people aren't anymore, both sides were on the wrong hill. Yeah, both sides were right. It's one of those things. Actual people who actually don't care about political stuff are gonna be like, you're both wrong, yet you're both right. Because cops need to serve the people, not serve one man. So that's the thing. It's they take an oath to serve the community, serve people. So if you take an oath to serve only one guy, again, we'll get into some more real life stuff here. That's what armies are made for. That's where the armies serve one man, serve under the commander-in-chief. But there's going to be people going to be like, you guys are definitely being modern society right now. But the city basically riots. And yes, it's a riot. I'm sorry. It's technically a riot, what they did. And I think someone was just on my front porch. But yeah, there's a stupid cat here. You don't see it. But yeah, he's and basically Kingpin, Daredevil, Karen Page, Jessica Jones, they're all trapped inside the courthouse with the judge and everyone. And Bugs, basically, he's still alive, from what we understand. Yay, he made it for the night. But Kingpin basically gets given a deal, make the deal to disappear or go to prison forever. And he made the deal to go. He's like, I'm not doing it. And he basically flips out on all the people breaking into the courthouse. And Kingpin does Kingpin stuff. And I'm like, fun scene. And of course, then you have the other side of the building where Jessica Jones, White Tiger, and Daredevil doing Daredevil stuff to the Fisk task force. Task Force Fisk. But yeah. And basically both sides meet up in the middle. Well, both sides clearly have disposed of some people. One side more than the other. By one man. More than the other. Woo! But by the time Kingpin got out of his hallway, he was like drenched in red. And he was wearing a white suit. So, yeah, he had these were normal citizens too. Like, yeah, they were attacking him, but woo, he went beast mode on them. Like, the one guy, he flows against the wall, and the guy like snaps like in half, and it's like, oh, Kingpin. It's like, yeah. But then you got Kingpin making his big speech, and it's a typical MCU speech type deal by Kingpin, which isn't a bad thing, just you know what you got in type deal. And basically the entire city turns on Kingpin and tries to dispose of Kingpin. Ooh, I guess I could use dispose instead of the K word. Dispose, that works. But doesn't really. And literally Jessica Jones and Matt, that's the Daredevil, running up both sides of the steps, fighting the people off Kingpin. And again, the normal people of the city are not good guys evil. Keep that in mind. Because they took the law into their own hands, which made them into vigilantes, which then they tried to destroy someone, which made them criminals. They should be charged with assault. I'm sorry. That's a prison sentence. Just, again, that's another thing for modern people to remember. People nowadays is trying to do the same thing, and it's not working out for them, and it's wrong. Don't do that. But, yeah. Matt and Kingpin, basically the last fight that they have is literally just them talking back and forth, because they know they can't be around anymore in the city. And Kingpin takes the deal. But him and Matt are like basically holding each other's heads, like, it's like, take the deal. It's like, I can't take the deal type deal. It's like, take the deal, and he does. And I think it's more of a Kingpin respects Matt, because this is the second time Matt technically saved Kingpin's life in this series. So there's that. And I'm just basically jumping through the whole thing in 10 minutes. Whew. Of course, at the end, Kingpin gets arrested or disappears, and BB gets promoted because she has a hand in some of this, but she's not to get arrested. She gets a raise, or she gets to become an actual, I guess, gets respect by people now. You get Karen and Matt having one last date before Matt gets arrested. Because technically Matt is a criminal. You know, Daredevil is a criminal, so that was interesting. Kingpin's on, looks like an island. So, I don't know. Kingpin's like psychiatrist lady, she is now going full on Muse. Which, if you're in the Marvel community online, they've leaked photos of her dressed up in Muse outfit, and like, it's Lady Muse. She is a comic book character, but not this lady. She's another person as a character. Is Lady Muse, so there was that. And Luke Cage shows up at the end finally. Yeah, it's Jessica Jones. And the guy who's, I think they haven't confirmed it, but I think he is 100% a agent of Miss Fontaine, DeFontaine, who is in charge of the Thunderbolts, who is in charge of the Young Avengers, is on an airplane. His a million mile high club. Ready to go, dude? And he's sitting next to Bullseye. And I'm like, am I getting what I want? Because I'm a huge Thunderbolts and Dark Avengers fan. Like, literally, I have a book right here of the Thunderbolts. Not too far, I know. Technically, reading through this again. Got this at Ari's for a good price, so yeah. But I love my Thunderbolts, and I love my Dark Avengers. And if you know who Bullseye is, there's a certain Dark Avenger that I'm like, give me that. Yeah, Dark Hawkeye, man, Dark Hawkeye. They're making a Marvel Legend of him too, and I'm like, I'm gonna pre-order it probably this week. I'm gonna pre-order Dark Avengers Hawkeye. Yeah, that's one I want right off the bat. No, I don't want Marvel Legend of Dark Hawkeye, but I think I'm one step closer in having Dark Avengers Hawkeye in the MCU. Especially since it doesn't sound like we're getting any more Hawkeye. Like, even, what was her name? Kate Bishop, I don't think we're getting anything from. So, Jeremy Renner, he's basically said he's done, I think. So, who knows? But I would love to see Doc Hawkeye. Bullseye as Hawkeye. That's another. Yeah, I think there's someone on my phone puts it in. But overall, like, Matt's in jail now. We now have a new muse. Kingpin's on an island. Hawkeye's on a plane with a government official who I think is connected to the Thunderbolts, so it makes me happy. Karen, I guess, I don't know what Karen's going to be doing. Jessica and Luke are planning on doing something, so. Of course, again, if you know anything about online and you've been paying attention, some photos have been leaked about Jessica, Luke, and Iron Fist. But overall, I enjoyed it. I had a fun time. I know I'm going to hear some stuff online on YouTube and stuff about how this was a terrible season because it went into sort of politics, if you're talking about modern day. Don't take the law into your own hands, people. If that was the case, we'll have vigilantes everywhere. Back to the wild, wild west. My baby's sleeping. Middle floor. We'll see. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Had a fun time. I can see where some people don't have criticisms, but they're not actual comic book fans. I can definitely think of one channel that's going to be criticizing it. But yeah, I didn't really pay attention. I was more paying attention to the storyline, so I didn't take notice to like Easter eggs. It's not like a couple episodes ago where I was like, hey, that's the Watcher and that's a something. And I was like, well, it's just a bunch of like wrap up stuff that I was like watching. And I would have to say, out of the 3 shows, like Invincible, Maul, and Daredevil, I think I like Maul first. Maul Saddleward was Star Wars Maul Saddleward. Especially the last 2 episodes, great. Then Daredevil, I'll put at 2. And Invincible, I will put at 3. That'll be my tier list right now. Invincible, I didn't really talk about because I'm just watching it. I'm enjoying it. But I'm not going to be one to talk about Invincible because it's nothing much. I enjoyed it. It's just out of the 3 shows so far, Invincible is fun. I guess I have Master Chef, then Punisher series, the one last KO, dispose of, one last dispose, and then Spider-Man Noir. Yes, I'm watching Master Chef. Go Jamie. Go from Twitch. I'll probably talk about that in a video. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Had a good time. It does point fingers at modern society right now, on both sides. So, yeah. Wait, they're already filming season 3? And I don't know, that might be out by the end of the year. Like, they were filming season 3 last year. So, they're probably like 6 or so episodes in already, complete. Like, if I remember right, they're filming as they're filming season 2. So who knows? Trick One Piece. One Piece I think is better than Daredevil though. I go Star Wars, One Piece, Daredevil, Invincible. That'll probably be my thing. But yeah. I guess that would be it. Had a good time. It was a great show. Looking forward to season 3. Maybe there won't be as much politics now that the army is basically gone and Kingpin's out of office, but it's Daredevil. There's always politics. So, who knows? I just want to see my Daredevil beat up a bunch of people. And Matt's in prison, so yeah. I guess that's it. Have a good day. Night, whenever you see this. See ya next time. Bye.